Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle, Reiki, spiritual healer. So, when we take a look at ourselves and we see who are in authority, what we have been put in control of, what we are in leadership of, and we have to also see what we have, tried to run away from and what we've tried to relinquish our position and our situation. We have an understanding that when you are in control of something, when God has given you control, authority of the land, of the people, of the laws, of the way that you are supposed to conduct yourselves and behave in society. And when you have decided to relinquish your gifts, to relinquish your authority, so that you do not have to stand up and fight, so that you are not in competition with the entity, so that you are only in competition with the most vulnerable, the easiest persons to be in competition with, then you are in alignment with the entity where they would attack vulnerable people. And I've said this on many occasions. They will attack the weaker people. They will attack the weaker people among us. And you are held accountable for that. The reason that you're in such turmoil, a lot of you, and I've been seeing a lot of the young males on TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of the young males on Facebook. But especially on TikTok, talking about they having afflictions. They're having problems in their health. They're having problems with their mind. They're having problems, with their finances. They're having problems in life because of their behavior. They have relinquished their gifts, and, they have aligned with the entity against their own people. And then they want to give these types of, behaviors the lie. They want to give the behavior a lie. And, all of the behaviors that we are looking at that they are trying to be like in our society, we are in turmoil because when they look at all of these other societies, they do not have to ask their women to be modest. It is automatic when, the men are trying to be just, or when they're trying to separate themselves, to do right in society. But when we have men that do not want to stand in their calling, then that means that you cannot call your power back from your health, because the wrath of God is upon you. That's not karma. That's not karma on your head. That's the wrath of God and punishment upon your behind because of your conduct and your behavior. And you're trying to put the authority and switch the authority to the women because you refuse to stand up and just look at you. And just look at you. It is embarrassing, to see so many of, our men, they want to be passport brothers. They want to be everything except for what God called them to be, the head. Okay. They want to take everything from, the women. You need to give us your money. We don't want to be in competition with you. But when have you, stained your hands with the blood of the entity? When have you taken anything from the entity? When have you beat the entity into submission? We don't see it. We don't see it because it doesn't happen, because you're too busy in bed with the entity. You're too busy in competition with the vulnerable. You want to go to war with the vulnerable, because you do not have, the mental capacity. The attack is upon your mind. The psychic attack, the affliction, the spell has gone out over your mind. And the only way that you can cleanse it is with the truth. Anything less than the truth, anything that is going to upset your ego, anything that is going to, take away from that high horse that you have, that you're not in competition. We know that you're not in competition with us. We know why you're angry. We know why you act the way that you do. We've known it all the time because God has revealed it to us, that your mind is under a psychic attack. You have sold your soul into the entity in order to be like him, in order to, act like him, in order to have control like him. But he will never give you control, and he has deceived you, and you are in a state of loss. So we have to make sure that we understand where we're going with these types of when we're making these types of attacks upon our own people. We have to make sure that they are able to see that these attacks are the cleansing ways that you move away from the entity, that you wake up permanently, and you stop fighting the people who are there for you, who God has put there for you, in order to help you sound the alarm, in order to wake all of the chosen ones up, so that we can stand in ranks together. So, with that being said, I want you to read, Surah Asafat 37. That's Surah 37. And let's go 31 through 32. 31 through 33, so that we can have an understanding that these types of behaviors is uncommon in the with the people that you want to be like. It's not found within the men. Okay, that you're in competition with women. So if you're not in competition with the women, then you're in competition with the entity. Now, this is where we have to go with this. And this is what it says here in 37:32. And let me just make it there. So the decree of our Lord, this 37:31. So the decree of our Lord has come into effect upon us. Indeed, we will taste punishment. And we led you to deviation. Indeed, we were deviators. So indeed, that day will be sharing in the punishment. So if you are, giving yourselves up to the entity, if you are, in support of this type of patriarchy where, they become like the entity, they take what they want. They are abusive. They are the most violent, the most vile before mankind, in the home, in the community, in all business dealings. They're not the best persons in their family, and nobody wants to be around them. They are not chosen ones. They are manipulators. They are narcissists dressed in religious garbs. They are narcissists dressed in spiritual garments. And we have to understand that a lot of the women of old have been seeing this. And they've done their best to try to lead, the men folk. They've done their best to try to lead the family. But we have to make sure that we're calling a spade, that, we need the leadership of the men. And if they have given themselves up over into greed, money, to take from, the vulnerable among us, like we're seeing, with what's going on with Venezuela. If our men have given themselves over into that entity, then we have to guard ourselves against not only the entity, but, our men and other men. And, and that means that God is God comes into wrath upon these men. All of you will be punished together for ganging together in these gangs to create one evil way, one evil society, in order to harm the most, vulnerable, in order to harm the prophets among us, in order to harm the believers among us, so that, you can be gluttony, you can be gluttonous, you can be deviant, you can be, sexual immoral, and you can be, the most vile and evil person that you can be, and teach other people to be more vile upon the land. Just like, the entity, just like the colonizers has taught you. And point the finger and say, it's somebody else. It's the women. No, it's not the women. It's the ones whom God have given the leadership to. The authority, the strength. And I wanted to make sure that you had this understanding that this is where these diseases are coming from. It's not only HIV that you are being punished with, that you will be punished with, you and your partners, your entity. But it's mental challenges, it's psychic attacks upon you, the spells that you're unable to break because of your disobedience. The spells that you have, tried to attack other chosen ones with, and it has not worked. It's only worked on those who want to be in alignment with you, who want to be like you. So we have our understanding that the sicknesses and diseases, it comes from these, illnesses of the heart. It comes up from the disease of the heart. It comes from what your hands have wrought against the innocent. It comes from, only being able to attack those that, are vulnerable. It comes from, not even supplying neighborly needs in your own home. Not giving your sons what they need, and blaming it and pointing the finger at the women who have tried to do the best that they can, who were there because of your vanity, because of your vaingloriousness. So I have to get on to you because, you're the chosen ones of this generation. You're the leadership of this generation. But the only thing that we can see is that you're leading how to look good, how to be like the entity, and how to be sick within your body and your mind, and want something that you haven't worked towards. So I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms so that we can help the chosen ones heal among us. Please book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions so I can acclimate a gift to you. Book your consultations. Donate to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to me. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.